Those guys is, conventional NFL stats says number one defense in the NFL is the total yardage team. We don't really go down that road. To us, it's a defensive efficiency. There's 9 categories to defensive efficiency. You guys have probably seen it before. And we want to be number one in the NFL in defensive efficiency. Points allowed, third down, red zone, right? It's all the rankings in those particular categories. So I'm with Nick. I'd like us to climb up there. I'm not going to worry about that week to week, but at the end of the year, I'd like that to be the ultimate goal.
Is that just an overall improvement, or are there certain elements within those 9 rankings?
There's element. Well, the 9. The point I made was, so I went back to the 4 years we've been here. We were 8th. The first year I was here in defensive efficiency. The other 3 years we were in the middle of the pack. It was 18, 19. I think last year we were 15th. And we looked at it and said, okay, where do we got to get better at to climb? The first one's red zone. The second one is some third down, even though it wasn't terrible. But there are certain areas in there that we need to get better at. We were really good at not giving up big plays. All right, so that helped us there. So we look at it. But more than anything, it's building the foundation of the system.
Steve, understand you haven't been in pads yet, but have you learned anything about Menu out here, or OTAs for that?
Yeah, I think he's a passionate football player. He's really into it. Like today, I watched him make a play, and he was fired up for himself. But then I watched him a couple plays later. One of his teammates, a D-line teammate, made a big play, and he was just as fired up for those guys. I like that. That's not a vet that's sitting over there just thinking about himself. He's thinking about his teammates, and I like that part of him. And he's been a really good addition to this point. Hopefully, it shows up in the games.
What kind of expectations do you have?
To play a couple of multiple positions, inside and outside. He did that in San Francisco, so we like that kind of flexibility. Be stern in the run game. My expectation right now for him, quite frankly, is to learn the system. That's step number 1. And then just let his natural ability take over after that.
Where are you mixing and matching a lot of different cornerbacks, different spots?
Corners?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the thought process right now?
Well, we really haven't. Listen, so LJ is coming back off an injury, right? We know Trent is doing the same. So we're kind of, we've got their rep count down right now. And because of that, you're seeing in and out. Rick's got those guys on a rep count, and Dave and Donald are doing a good job doing that. Specifically. But since they're coming out, somebody's got to go in, and that's why you're seeing all the moving pieces. Yeah.
Steve, what is Drew Tranquil going to do for you? What is it that you sort of see in his presence?
A lot of what you just said about Charles, he's a guy that's played a bunch of different positions, really intelligent. It's funny. Yeah, I've had a bunch of free agents come to systems in the years I've been here, and sometimes it takes a little while, for guys to get comfortable with their surroundings, with their teammates. Drew, it's like he stepped right in, and he'd been here for 3 years in terms of communicating with his teammates, what he did off of the field, how much of a pro he is. He's had a great influence on not just the linebacker room, but the defense in general.
Yeah, that's in terms of sort of his comfort, but also his obvious grasp of what you're doing.
Yeah, he's been really good that way. Real multiple. He's playing a couple of different positions right now. Before it's all said and done, he'll probably play all 3 linebacker spots. And then we have a couple other packages where he's going to be a little bit different in too.
You have a lot of young players on your team last year who made big strides and helped you guys so much. When you see them now, how much more prepared are they at this point this year than last year, and how much better they can be? Yeah,
light years, although I had to remind one of them, I won't say who, that he was going back to his rookie habits, instead of where he eventually got to. But listen, been doing this thing a long time. I really enjoy young guys when they do that, and then just see how much they mature. For me, I don't know if you guys have they been in the locker room and seen? Have you guys seen the guys and been around them yet? Or when they come back sometimes after that first year, facially they look different to me. Like they come in, they look like young pups, and then all of a sudden a year later, that's a grown man right there. So a bunch of those guys I think are like that.
Just a thought on Echo Boyd. I know he's
Yeah.
a bit of a long shot, but he's got some skills.
Yeah, I tell you what, he did some really good things in the OTAs. He's a competitor. Like, he doesn't back down. We like that. I mean, we're a press team. That's what we ask our guys to do, and I think that's one of the things he does pretty well.
I want to ask you about Mike Edwards.
Yeah.
I asked him about your system and learning,
Yeah.
his pretty tough. He said he learned a lot when he was down with Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
Talk about where he's at.
Well, it's probably he's in a great place right now. Unfortunately for him, he missed all that foundational reps back in the spring.
Right.
And he was dealing with the injury, and then I don't think he was able to train quite like he normally would because of the hamstring or groin. I think a pull, right? But mentally, he's in a much better place now than he was even back then. He's been in the league. He's a pro. I mean, guys have come from other teams in our system in the past, and all the years I've been doing it, and it usually takes a little while. But Mike's come from another multiple system, and I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's just going to be terminology, and yeah, we might do something a little bit different. But I think he's used to having a volume of defenses. I think he'll be fine. Okay? Right.
Hey, Travis, Andy in the past has said that the quarterback is an extension of the head coach on the field. How do you see that in Patrick as far as, how does he kind of represent the head ball coach on the field?
I feel like it's like the intricacies of the offense, the little things. He knows how to teach this thing just as well as Coach Reed does. He knows every single bit of what the O-line's mentality, their footwork, the wide receivers, their angles, their how they're tracking the ball. The little things that Coach Reed really understands has kind of been ingrained in Pat's head, and I think that's all the quarterbacks at that. And they all kind of just as a collective group, all thinking the exact same, and that's what makes this thing run like an engine, man.
Is it the same way on game day, or are there other things you see on a game day that?
Well, obviously, Pat has the instinctual ability to do things that I've never seen anybody else do on the football field. So that's where he separates himself, and he kind of shows his own personality in that regard. But in terms of situational football, understanding of the rules of the game, time management, all those things that Coach Reed is, the guru of, Pat is as well. And that's just, being in the same, meetings, understanding how Coach Reed, does things, and in training camp, just having countless amount of time to be able to just go over all those things.
You had such an unusual offseason with all the different things you got to do. Is it some comfort coming back to the grind of camp?
I love coming here, man. I love coming here. It gets me ready for the season. I'm a big fan of training camp. I'm a big fan of preseason, being able to, lock in on the fundamentals and getting your mind straight. Going through those ups and downs. We got a new playbook compared to last year. It has to keep changing. It has to keep evolving. So getting excited about those opportunities and really giving those new plays an opportunity to develop. That's what I get excited about. And I get excited about being around the guys and building this new team together, man.
Travis, do you feel like camp's important to you at this stage?
Every year, 100%. Even more so when I was younger, man. The reps you get in camp are so priceless, man. Whether it's the threes, the twos, the walkthroughs in the indoor, everything you can do to gain a mental advantage on every single play and get you more comfortable out there on the field to be able to run fast and play fast and be accountable for the guy next to you. All that stuff is just it's such needed, and that's why I love coming out here, man.
So much is made between the chemistry between you and Pat. How much freedom are you given at this part of your career where maybe on a given play you can break off the route and find the soft spot, that type of thing?
I'm trying my hardest to just run this thing like Coach Reed dials it up, man. And that's where you want to get creative, but at the right time, at the right moment, that creativity will kind of play itself out. Coach Reed does a great job of putting a lot of work into making these plays make sense for the quarterbacks. So you don't want to get off script too much. And as much as everybody thinks I'm getting off script all the time and just getting wide open, for the majority of the part, I'm just running what's called, and Coach Reed's getting me open in terms of play call and dialing that thing up against the right defense. So, yeah, all that creative stuff is fun, but for the most part, I would say about 99% of the time, I'm doing what Coach Reed wants me to do.
Travis, I know you say you love camp, but was there a moment with so many of the new guys last year during training camp where you sort of can identify that, okay, we're going to be good, this team is going to be good?
Man, I'm excited. I'm excited about every young guy that we got here, and there's no let's wait until this guy develops. These guys are ready right now, and you see him flying out there. Rasheed had a bunch of great plays today. Noah Gray had a great day today. Sky Moore had about 3 or 4 touchdowns and some great plays. So in terms of the young talent we have here, it's just guys are ready to play because they're putting their nose to the grind and just getting after it, man. They're just getting after it.
Yeah, I guess can you tell, is it midway through camp where you can sort of identify this team is moving in the right direction? Because obviously it's been you and coach here every year since so. Is there a moment where you can sort of see the change go in the team's favor?
I saw it in training camp the way everybody attacked the days. We were attacking training camp like we were attacking OTAs like it was training camp. And that mentality, that excitement to get better, that focus to get better, that want to get better, that energy of everybody kind of bouncing ideas off of each other, getting on the same page. That's all you want training camp to be. You want it to be a collective agreement that, we're going to do whatever we can to get this thing right. And the young guys, I don't want to say they follow lead, but they figured that out real quick. And it makes the game exciting because you know that when you go out there and you're on the same page as the guy next to you, it just makes everything that much more flawless, and everybody gets to touch the rock in this offense. I mean, it's always been family first, man. I think the beauty of last year was being able to put my family in everyone's living room and showcase my upbringing, showcase how wonderful my mother and my father were, and how much of a mentor my older brother was for me. And that was awesome. Not everybody gets to have the pride to be able to showcase their family like that. And I'm just appreciative of the opportunities that I get, and it'll always be family first in my mind, though, man.
Last 3, Vahe, Adam, Steve.
Travis, you're obviously still young and in great shape, but I do wonder if you have to make any concessions or do anything different 10, 11 years in than you might have before.
No, just go. Just go. We got a lot of great tight ends, so the reps are going to be passed around a little bit more this year, I would assume. And that's a good thing, man. We got Noah Gray, Jody Fortson, Blake Bell, even, KB and our guy. And oh my gosh, why am I blanking on Bushy, man? Our snowman, the most pale guy out here. No, it's oh my God, listen, the tight end room is so stacked right now. Getting everybody reps to be able to showcase their talents is kind of where we're at. A lot of the coaches know what I can do and kind of know my skill set, but I still want to get as many reps as I possibly can. So there's no pulling back at all.
And overall, you don't feel any sense of father time at all? I mean, do you feel as energetic as ever?
You know what? Nothing more than last year. Last year I started feeling a little bit in the second and third days, but you just got to harp on recovery and just make sure you're doing the right things in terms of muscle activation and things like that. Everybody's body's different, Everybody says when they get older they wish they were doing this when they were younger, but you just figure it out as you go and you start to keep things rolling and try and be at your peak athleticism all times.
Travis, it's only been a couple days out in Darius out there, but what are you guys missing about
I mean, just electric, man. He's just a high energy guy. When he gets the ball, he's flying around. He's a hard worker. We're going to miss KT's just, his ability to make a play out of nowhere. And just, kind of gain that momentum. He was that piece for us in the Super Bowl. He was that piece for us throughout the season last year. And, just getting that thing right. We got all the confidence in the world in our training staff here to get him ready either by season or early on in the season. Got our fingers crossed that we get him back as soon as possible. And it's just, letting him heal up, and we'll take care of the load until he gets back. But KT ain't going anywhere, man. We missed that guy already.
Trav, you've been to a bunch of these camps, man. 3 of them led to Super Bowls. Could you tell the difference from the years that you didn't go to the years that you did go?
Not really. You got to keep this thing building throughout the year. As a guy that's been here nonstop, every single training camp you come in and guns are blazing, everybody's flying around making plays. But I feel like this year the energy's really, really high. A lot of communication, a lot of guys are bouncing things off each other. Even in the meeting rooms, nobody's kind of just sitting back, just kind of waiting to be told what to do. Everyone's on the edge of their seat, wanting to learn, wanting to get better. And that's because we know what we can do. We know we can go and get this thing. And there's a lot of confidence, and there's a lot of, moxie that comes with it. And it starts in the QB room, I'm not going to lie. And a guy like Blaine Gabbert, Shane Bush, I mean, everybody's been in this thing really just attacking the day and having fun with it, man. And that's all you can ask for, because training camp, as you guys know, can be a little bit of a grind. And it is what it is, man. If you bring that energy every single day, you're going to find ways to get better.
Thanks, guys.
All right now.
Thanks, Travis.
All right. How much more comfortable do you feel this time than you did last year?
Like 30 times more comfortable. You know, just knowing, like, having an idea of the whole playbook, going through it 1 year before, and, you know, just understanding the culture that, you know, that the Chiefs have in Kansas City. Can you say it again? I'm sorry. Yeah, I started. You know, I started to notice it's hard to miss that when, you know, 15's back there. But I started to notice that, like, during OTAs, realizing, like, yeah, I'm with the real guys every single time. So it's like it makes it that much more important to do my job.
Can you speak to the idea of just, it just seems natural you're going to get more targets this year. Are you ready to take that step?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I prepped myself over the last offseason, and, you know, I feel like I'm ready for that task.
Is there a mental approach to this that you need to apply?
Absolutely. Just knowing that if they're going to count on me more, I need to be ready. And, you know, there's definitely a mental aspect to that, for sure.
Since these are the opening days, I'm sure you set goals like everybody else. If you look back at the end of the year, what would you consider a successful season for Spagnuolo?
Really, I could tell you that after camp. Right now I want to carve my role out, see what my role is, and then, you know, be able to set goals based off of my role.
Guys, specifically, can you elaborate on what makes you more comfortable? And I'm sure it's knowledge of the playbook and things like that, but what is it that allows you to do things differently?
It's just having that 1 year of experience under your belt. You know, just is the game didn't change, you know, so it's kind of, I'm going at it one more time, like, and then I feel like I'm in there, and I'm just a pro. I'm not in college anymore. I'm not new to the NFL, so I know how things are going to turn out. I have game experience, so I feel like that experience just makes me more comfortable.
You feel like you just actually see things a little differently, a little different pace?
Yeah, it kind of slowed down a little bit. It's kind of like I'm not worried about what route I run anymore. It's about how I'm going to get open and, you know, like, what I'm going to do to the DB versus my job.
Scott, you talked about being a reliable passer. There was a catch out there today where you came way back for the football.
Yeah.
Is that kind of an example of what you're trying to be?
Yeah, for sure. Like, even though it might not be the prettiest look, but I'm gonna do my best to get it done, for sure.
What do you think of the other receivers so far?
I was just telling Mir earlier today, like, I love Richie. Richie's my favorite receiver right now. So, but I feel like we got a lot of great guys in the room. It's super competitive in the room, but at the same time, like, we got a good bond. So all the guys eat lunch together. You know, we laugh, we joke, but we also work, and we know that it's a competitive room for sure.
What makes Richie your favorite? You kind of smile.
I like how he moves. Like, he does the stuff that I think I'm doing what he's doing, but he kind of does it a little different.
You talk about, you know, last year coming to camp as a rookie. You were, you know, here with your eyes wide open, right?
Yeah.
Is there any guys that have been leaning on you so far this year? Maybe Rasheed Rice.
Yeah, for sure. Rasheed definitely. It was a point where he's asking me all the questions. I told him, one of the times I told him, I said, I don't know, bro. You got to ask the older guys. And he was like, you one of the older guys. So it just put things in perspective for me. Like I got to jump into a different kind of role. Like, I'm not the rookie anymore. So I got to be able to answer those certain questions, which makes me, like, study even harder. You know, like, if you're able to teach it, Joe always says, or receiver coach, like, Joe always says, if you're able to teach it, that means you know that much more. So, for sure.
Are you older than Rasheed?
Nah, he's older than me. Yeah.
What have your conversations been with, like, Coach Tobe as far as, you know, going back to punt return duty being something you do this year? Do you want to return punts this year?
I'm not gonna stop. You know, I really haven't had a deep conversation with him about that, but he definitely has me back there going and catching them every practice. So I'll still be back there for sure. Like
One of those
at least to
things
practice
last
them.
year that hurt your confidence, but then also gave you some confidence at the
Yeah.
end of the year when you had the big return.
Yeah.
Is that something that you think about at this point, like how you actually did build from that last year and helped you in the end?
Yeah, it definitely like sparked my confidence like leading into this coming season. So yeah, for sure. That's something I always, don't want to neglect and have in my back pocket for sure.
All right, good to go.
So thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Trent, you really didn't get to do a whole lot during OTAs. You had to watch a lot.
Yeah.
Was there anything about that experience that helped you out? And how do you feel physically right now as far as football shoes?
Yeah. I mean, right now I'm feeling good. I'm excited to finally be back out there with the guys. Watching them during OTAs, it was tough because I couldn't be out there, but just watching this defense move around and get after it, and the rookies coming in, and just how everything gelled together, it was exciting to watch from the sideline, and it definitely made coming into this camp a lot more exciting.
What's been the issue and how are you feeling now?
Yeah, I had a little issue with my calf. But right now, working with the team and just this offseason, just getting it right, I'm feeling good. Yeah.
Where can this defense get better this year?
Yeah, I think a big thing for us is just takeaways. We know we got guys who make plays, we can cover, we can play the zone, we can blitz the quarterback, but a big thing for us is just getting that ball back. And I know Spags talked a lot about attitude defense and 11 guys at the ball 24/7. I think that's something that this defense is really going to hone in on, is just making sure we don't give up on any play.
Is that for you too? Takeaways?
100%, yeah. I dropped a few last year, so I definitely have to come back and make up for it this year.
What have you seen early on here from Nick Jones? Rookie.
Oh, Nick Jones? Oh, man. Shoot, as a rookie, I remember last year for me, it's tough coming in here and trying to learn this defense, and a lot of things are getting thrown at you, especially him being in the nickel position, being at corner, and honestly, he just took everything on the chin. He's listened to all the coaching points, he's listened to us vets, and he's out there just working. And that's really all you can ask for a rookie during this time, is just put your head down, keep learning, and keep going out there confident. That's what he's been doing.
You mentioned, us vets. You guys are in your second year. You performed really well in your first
Yeah.
year. What's the limit? As far as what you guys can accomplish in this season?
Man, we still growing. I mean, it's like you said, it's year 2 for us. I mean, we still babies in the league, so the sky's the limit for us. I think a big thing for us is just sticking together as always and continue to just push each other. I mean, not really getting satisfied with what we did last year. Last year was great, but turning that page and being like, okay, this is a new year. We have something else to prove, and I think we're ready for that.
Trent, you talk about Trent.
I know Spags likes me in there a lot, and I know last year towards the end of the season I was in there a lot, and like I always told him, I said, wherever you need me, corner, nickel, I mean, you want to throw me at safety, like, I just want to be out there and be able to play for you, play for this team, and be a good teammate. So wherever he wants me, I'm going to be ready for it.
Trent, you talked about team
Yeah.
goals. I'm sure coming in this season, you got some personal goals for yourself. What are those?
Honestly, it's funny. I'm not somebody who really cares about personal goals. I'm not someone who writes, I got to get this amount of picks, this amount of stats. For me, a big thing is obviously Super Bowl. That's always my number one goal, making it back there. But just being the best teammate I can on and off the field. I think for me, being able to do that allows me to wake up every day with a goal. And that's just being out there and having the leaders trust me, having the rookies trust me, and making sure that once this football is done and we're off and, we're living our own lives, that they can call me whenever they need me. And that's something I stand by.
Couple more.
One of the things that Coach Spags said was, just looking in the eyes of you second-year players, how you seem different. You rookies last year, like, oh, look, they've grown in now.
Yeah.
Do you feel different as a group or in yourself individually?
Yeah. I mean, one thing I think we're definitely out there talking a lot more. Last year as rookies, it was, what are my plays, what are my plays? This year, a lot more communication. I think guys are a lot more confident out there in the plays, and I feel like looking at it now, especially us rookies and even some of the vets, just having a year being developed in this system allows us to play so much faster. And I think you can start seeing guys like Nightjohn today making a couple breakups, just not thinking, out there just reacting, playing, and just going to get the ball.
Trent, what's your first impression of the receivers?
Yeah, man, That's a good group of guys. They work. I know Pat really likes them, and their chemistry just keeps getting better each day. I mean, I feel like the past 2 days, Pat's thrown 2 perfect balls, and I'm like, dang, man, like, I'm there. Like, one of these days I'm going to get you, but, man, no matter what happens, these receivers keep putting their head down and keep working, and that's something that you got to respect.
Last one.
I mean, your thoughts about Deneric Prince? He made a couple plays out there today. He's someone who wasn't drafted.
Yeah.
Has he jumped out on tape or on the practice field to you?
Yeah, man. I mean, shoot, all our running backs right now, they're fast, they're agile, they're hard workers, they're strong, and especially a guy like Deneric Prince, I feel like he got that chip on his shoulder. And that's something like you saw Pop last year, came in this kind of just like, you know, they didn't give me a shot, but I'm going to go make one for myself. And for me, looking at it, I love that kind of thing because it's like you got somebody over there who's really trying to grind each day, and that's only going to make everybody else better.
All right, thank you guys.
Cool. Appreciate it. Yep.